It is the 426th of April, 1944, and over the dark skies of France, more than 200 Lancaster bombers push through the night. Among them is a young 21-year-old flight officer, Fred Mifflin, guiding his crew into danger. German radar has already locked onto the incoming raid. Below, a modified Bf-110 night fighter, armed with upward-firing cannons, silently positions itself beneath an unsuspecting Lancaster. In Mifflin's cockpit, a flash erupts to the left. A burning Lancaster streaks downward, illuminating the sky as the crew watches in helpless horror. Yet the mission must continue. As they approach the target, Miff steadies his voice over the intercom. "Get ready, men. Coming close." Behind him, flight engineer Norman Jackson folds the seat forward, allowing the bomb aimer to crawl into position. Suddenly, the night erupts with flak, shaking the aircraft as they enter the most dangerous stretch of the run. A violent explosion rocks the wing. "We're hit!" Shrapnel has torn through the aircraft, but Miff calms the crew. "I've still got her under control." Pathfinder flares light up the German factory below, painting the ground in harsh light. "There's the spot. The plane is yours," Miff says as the bomb aimer takes over. Seconds later, the call echoes through the bomber. Bombs away, fire blossoms across the target as Miff turns the Lancaster homeward into the dark. But German radar is already directing a pack of WW2 Butcher birds into the night sky. These aircraft, adapted for nocturnal hunting, begin stalking the retreating British bombers. From high above, an WW2 pilot spots Mifflin's aircraft gliding in the moonlight. He pushes the nose down and closes in with deadly precision. At 50 meters, he opens fire. 20-millimeter shells rip into the tail. Norman Johnson, the tail gunner, shouts, "I'm hit!" The Lancaster returns fire, but the German fighter slips away into the black. Moments later, it reappears at 5 o'clock and fires another deadly burst along the fuselage. With the tail gun silent, Miff knows evasive action is their only hope. "Hold on, men!" he yells as he throws the bomber into a violent corkscrew. But the WW2 is agile, fast, and relentless. It follows the maneuver easily, firing again and striking near the cockpit. Shrapnel slices into Norman Jackson's legs. As he winces, he sees a far greater threat. The right wing is burning fiercely. "We're on fire!" someone calls out. If the flames spread to the fuel tank, the aircraft will disintegrate. Despite his wounds, Jackson thinks of a desperate solution. He gathers 2 crewmen and reveals a bold plan. He will climb out onto the wing to extinguish the fire. Crew stare at him. "That's certain death," one whispers. But Jackson is calm. "If I put it out, pull me back in. If not, feed the parachute out as best you can." Before Miff can react, Jackson is already preparing. The men grip his parachute lines as he moves toward the hatch. When the hatch opens, freezing air slams into them. At 18,000 feet and 180 miles per hour, Jackson climbs into the night. He drives an axe into the aircraft's skin for support and drags himself slowly onto the wing. Fire illuminates his path as he fights the wind with every inch gained. Burning metal scorches his gloves as he reaches the flames. One-handed, he presses the extinguisher nozzle into a cannon hole and releases. Amazingly, the fire begins to die. "He's doing it! It's working!" The crew shout in disbelief. Bit by bit, the flames shrink until they vanish completely. Against all odds, the wing fire is out. Just earlier that day, Jackson had learned he was the father of a newborn son. Now, for the first time tonight, he dared to imagine making it home. But above him, the WW2 pilot sees the flame disappear. He dives once more, determined to finish the kill. Cannon fire rips across the wing, striking Jackson's shoulder and leg. Fuel spills from a ruptured tank and ignites in a massive fireball. Jackson is blown from the wing. His parachute lines snap tight as the crew feel his weight violently pull downward. We'll never get him back. Let him go. They release the chute, and it is instantly consumed by flames. Inside, Miff struggles to keep the dying aircraft level. He drops to 7,000 feet and orders the crew to bail out. One by one, they jump, except Norman Johnson. His injuries are too severe for a parachute descent. Miff refuses to abandon him. He attempts a crash landing to save his friend, but the effort fails, and both men lose their lives. Meanwhile, Jackson's flaming parachute plummets toward the earth. Miraculously, he is still alive when he crashes into the bushes below. Both ankles are broken, his hands burned, his legs torn by shrapnel, and a bullet sits lodged in his shoulder. Yet somehow, he survives. He crawls to a nearby farmhouse, barely conscious. German soldiers soon capture him and deliver him to a POW camp hospital staffed by Allied medics. Incredibly, he fully recovers. The 5 surviving crew members remain prisoners until liberation in 1945. Later that year, Norman Jackson is awarded the Victoria Cross for his unmatched bravery. His first reaction upon hearing the news is simple: what the hell for? Jackson passed away peacefully on 26 March 1994. His story remains one of the most extraordinary acts of courage in the entire air war. As one pilot later remarked, "It's hard enough doing these missions at night, but the Americans are doing them during the day." Did you hear that story where only one B-17 came home? Yes, you can watch that full story here.